Assalamualaikum. A very good evening to everyone who's watching. Thank you for tuning in to Parenting Retreat episode number 2. And together with us tonight, of course, we have our dear Ustaz Mizi Wahid.
And Hi everyone. Assalamualaikum.
Salam. And our very special guest, I tiba-tiba excited pula malam ni kan. Our very special guest, Mya Zulkifli. Welcome to the show.
Assalamualaikum everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you amazing people. So I can't wait to get started.
InsyaAllah. Okay, so before we start kan, I want to take just a little short time to just share with everyone a short video on Kiddocare. Maklumlah kalau tak kenal tak cinta kan. So kita nak berkenalan dengan Kiddocare dahulu. Okay, let's watch this short
Tonight,
video.
Mom and Dad are going out on a dinner date. We'll be staying at home with Kak Ali. Kak Alin isn't just an ordinary sister. She helps me get my homework done. And we get to play our favorite games with her too. Being with her makes us feel comfortable and safe. So aunties and uncles, if you're looking for a fun sitter like Kak Alin, contact Kiddocare or place a booking on their website at www.kiddocare.my.
Okay, there you go. So if anyone wants a babysitter, you know where to get www.kiddocare.my. Okay, so kita nak mulalah sikit-sikit tapi kita nak berkenalan dulu dengan kita punya dua orang guest kita ni, walaupun Ustaz Mizi is no stranger to Kiddocare community. Right?
Everyone around Malaysia as well.
Everyone. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to be introducing a little bit of, both our speakers, but feel free to add in at any time. So let me just start with Ustaz Mizi first. So Ustaz Mizi Wahid is the founder and CEO of Safina Holdings Private Limited, a modern and progressive Islamic organization which runs numerous events on contemporary issues faced by today's community. Oh, panjangnya tu kan. Tapi kalau siapa yang duk follow Ustaz Mizi on his social media would understand exactly what he is doing, right? On top of that, right, he is very famous for his best-selling books. So also among my favorite, Art of Letting God, Call Upon Him. And yang baru apa Ustaz?
You Are Loved.
You Are Loved. And yang paling kita seronok nak announce malam ni and to share with everyone, Ustaz Mizi, who we love, is now also an advisor of Kiddocare. So let me formally...
Alhamdulillah, now I'm part of the family. I'm not a part of the family.
Alhamdulillah. All right. And our special guest tonight, a wife, a mother of 2 boys, 4 years old Noah and 1-year-old Isaac. Wow, Alhamdulillah.
Thank you so much. Alhamdulillah, such a blessing to have this 2 amazing boys at home and now currently working at home at the same time. Tapi there are times I still have to go to the office. So yeah, balancing my life and career both at the same time.
And that's exactly what we want to talk about today, right?
Yes, that's why I'm so excited.
I think, we all share that same kind of, balancing act, juggling act, you name it lah kan. Dan bermacam-macam persoalan dan dilema dekat dalam kepala kita ni. But before that, I also want to tell, those outside who probably have not known Mya, she is also an entertainment broadcast journalist. So I don't know how you handle your time because I know being a journalist works, at different time altogether. A TV producer and a host as well, right?
True.
All right. Before that, all in one. Okay, before that, I am going to invite in our co-founder, Puan Mohaini. Dia tadi had to rush back. Okay. Moi.
Hi.
Hi.
Guys. 4 minutes lambat.
It's okay.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you. Virtually meet you.
Hi, Ustaz Mizi.
Hi.
Assalamualaikum.
Alhamdulillah. So I'm sure Muhaini had to fly back from her dinner tonight. She literally flew back.
I am so sorry. I apologize. I don't know why I thought it was at 9 o'clock until I got the notification. Jadi F1 driver jap tadi.
It's okay.
Apa?
Glad that you're safe. You arrived safely, alhamdulillah.
So, okay, I'm going to pass the show to Muhaini. Mui, we've made the introduction, so it's up to you to
Great.
korek about our two guests. And
Yes,
let's
okay.
get the show started.
Inshallah.
That's great. Okay, so Mia, right?
Okay. Yep, Mia.
Before we start with the session, so
Okay.
there's gonna be let's do an ice breaking session, okay?
Okay, sure
It's
thing.
gonna be it's a game, this or that game. All
Alright.
right? Are you ready?
Yes.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee, 100%.
Beach holiday or snow holiday?
Beach holiday.
Jogging or hiking?
Neither. Jogging. Hiking. Yes, hiking. Grounding.
Okay,
So hiking.
this one I want to know so that I can know what generation you're in. Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok?
Definitely not TikTok. Unfortunately, a little bit old school. So more into Instagram rather than Facebook.
Okay, Ustaz Mizi, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok?
I'm all Instagram, man. I'm all Instagram. And a
You
bit
know,
of Twitter.
I've been pressuring Ustaz Mizi to start a TikTok account.
Ustaz Mizi is on Twitter, 100% Twitter. More on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay, this is for both of you lah, okay?
Alright.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
iPhone.
Phone call or text message?
Depends. Text.
For me, it's mostly text unless it's really necessary or it's someone I really know.
Likewise.
Okay. Dine in or delivery?
Dine in.
I'm
But
so sick
now-
of I'm so sick of deliveries now. Banyak sangat delivery. Yeah, so I
Because
would
of
love
the
to dine in.
lockdown,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
Okay, the last three questions. This one is jawapan lah. It's not a this or that.
Okay.
If you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Just one food. One food.
Wow.
Lamanya.
I probably, do you guys know Rojak India? Rojak?
Yes, Pasambo.
We know
Probably
rojak, but what's the difference rojak India and
I don't know. It's kedai mamak
Pasambo?
punya rojak lah. Yang the
Yep.
I don't know, in Singapore we call it rojak mama. Because I would choose that because at least there's variety. Because if I have to eat the same thing every day for the rest of my life, at least there's variety, you know.
And yourself, Mia?
Nasi lah.
Nasi, yeah?
Nasi.
I'm also a nasi person. I cannot live without nasi. Bila travel overseas, I will look for nasi.
Exactly.
Okay, last question. Name one country you would like to visit after we open our borders.
If there's any risky, inshallah, I would like to perform my umrah. My very first umrah, yeah.
And yourself, is that?
I don't know. Probably a Middle Eastern country. Like I've been to Dubai, but not with my family, so probably Dubai.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, great. So that's the icebreaking session. We'll start with the
Not so
questions.
icebreaking.
for the-
Yeah, the
yeah. Senang, right? The icebreaking. Okay.
Straight to the topic, yeah.
Okay, so my first question for you is, what do you love about being a parent?
Definitely getting all the love back from my kids. Like there's this thing about me is that when my two of my boys sleeping, I can, just simply like look at them. Dah mengantuk gila dah ni, tapi you just look at them and really appreciate macam mana nak cakap pinjaman yang Allah bagi sekejap ni tau. It's like it made me feel so grateful knowing the fact that not everybody got the chance to actually have their own child, and not everybody are blessed to have kids. Some are trying so hard to have one, but rezeki orang lain-lain and rezeki tak pernah salah alamat. But for me, to be honest, I rather appreciate all the smaller things. Even like my kids calling me mommy, itu pun ada rasa macam, yeah, things like that lah. Small little
I
things that
can,
really matter.
yeah, I can totally relate. You know, feeling the love back. And just now, just before we started, if you see the window balcony here, my little 4-year-old came because she knows she's not supposed to enter, but she just before I started, she said, "Dada, I
Jenguk.
love you." She said, "I love you."
Aww.
So it's nice to get those little moments. What Mia just described earlier was something I actually tweeted about many years ago. I said kids are so confusing, you know, like when they are awake and you are so tired, you just want them to sleep, can. And then when they finally fall asleep, you can't help but you want to kiss them, you want to hug them. Nanti terbangun pula kan, macam it's so confusing. Like what do you want, you
You
know?
miss them
Uh,
instantly. You know?
yeah, correct. So yeah, indeed, definitely, I agree. There are blessings through and through, and we should always count our blessings and cherish every moment that we get to spend with them.
Betul.
So, before becoming parents,
Mhm.
what did you think your challenges as parents were going to be, and how have your thoughts changed now that you are living as one?
Okay, to be honest, me not having kids yet, dulu the one of the main reason that I really worried about is definitely money, you know. I'll think like, okay, if you want to raise a kid, it's like not just having it, you know, it comes with responsibilities, like not to say a lifetime lah, tapi you know there's a long way to go sampai dia dah sampai that age that he or she can really, you know, survive on their own. So I rasa macam, okay, my money might be gonna be an issue, tapi once I become one, actually it is not. Sebab alhamdulillah rezeki, bila orang kata rezeki anak, when I have one, ada now 2 boys, baru I percaya that is so true. Like itu memang tak dapat disangkal, and it's so true that rezeki tu tak pernah salah alamat, and it ada je when you thought that alamak macam tak cukup je kali, you know, ada je macam alamak alamak tu memang you don't have to worry, sebab akan cukup dan ada je rezeki untuk anak-anak you, which I memang wow, alhamdulillah, rasa macam ya, itu yang paling I rasa benda yang paling orang kata sangkaan yang tak pernah I rasa akan terjadi, tapi bila dah ada anak, I rasa oh gitu memang salah lah. Memang it's true that money is still important, you still have to manage ataupun you still have to plan ahead and all, but when you think too much about it, actually benda tu tak pun, it's not as important as you thought it's going to be. Macam tu lah. Wow, ya. Itu yang paling
And
I rasa
yourself,
sangat.
what do you think? Because I do know actually a lot of people that I know kan, banyak faktor yang make them kahwin lambat is because of money, obviously. You know, they keep on delaying. So what are your thoughts on this?
Believe in him, you know. Like at the end of the day, he is the best planner of all. Yes, definitely we can plan. We have to, you know, berusaha, tawakal. Tapi if you really, you know, overthink way too much, sometimes benda yang tak tentu lagi pun you know, benda tu tak tentu lagi berlaku, tapi you dah overthink way too much, and at the end of the day apa pun tak dapat. So for me, you just go with the flow. Yes, usaha, tapi don't think too much. Believe in him. Itu je. I rasa just believe in him and lillahi ta'ala.
I'm sure Ustaz Mizi, a lot of people have approached you on this topic too. Kan?
Well, for me, because I counsel couples before they get married, and one of the topics I always ask them is about what's your plans and policy with regards to having children. And the questions I would ask, like, okay, do you want to have kids or not have kids? As the first one, because there are some who say no, we both don't want, or one of them is not so keen on the idea of having kids for whatever reason, right? And then there are some who say, okay, and then I would ask them, so if you do want to have one, when do you start? Immediately? Do you give it a year, 2 years? And for anyone who says, Ustaz, we need time, and some of them say even 5 years, then I ask them why. They said money. Because their career is not stable yet, they said, because they're still young, or they're still saving up to buy a house. Once they have a house, then they're more confident to have a child and start a family. And so, yeah, it's true whatever Mia said. I think a lot of young couples and young aspiring parents have the same concern. And I would say the same advice. I'm not just saying, okay, lah, just hope for the best, right? Or trust blindly. I believe in having both. You need to plan.
Yeah.
You need to have, you need to know your numbers, like your budgeting and everything. Be transparent, talk to each other. We all have worries and concerns. Sometimes I hear this more from the men, to be honest, because they feel like now I'm responsible. This is my amana. Maintenance, nafkah is gonna come from me, but I don't think I'm ready yet. I need to naik pangkat dulu, whatever. Right? They have those things that they think about, and sometimes it's them, but sometimes it's the lady, because she thinks that if I have a child, I'm gonna be out of my work for 4 months, 6 months, and this may affect other things. As much as there are policies now trying to ensure that we don't discriminate against women and mothers, but you can't help, especially sorry, but private sectors are very ruthless and like, oh, you've been out for a while now, you're not contributing to the company, to the bottom line. Jadi banyak concerns that young couples have, and that what Mia raised is a real one for sure.
So, what's your greatest fear as a parent?
Not being good enough, to be honest. Me, at times, especially last night memang it hits me real hard sebab one of the reason why is because my second born Isaac, dia baru tersembam tau, so he got this like benjol. So bila dia tidur tu, when I look at him, I just feel so mad at me and myself. Not just you feel mad, you rasa macam kesian kat dia. So yang bagi I rasa macam not to say rasa frust ke apa, tapi rasa tak boleh nak protect him ataupun tak boleh nak be the best one at all times. No matter how hard you try, nobody is perfect in any way, tapi that is the reason why sometimes I have to keep reminding myself. I've been telling people that it's okay, you do you, nobody is perfect in any way. Everybody wants to be the best mom. So, ikut je the face, just go with the flow. Tapi when it comes to me, myself, when it happened to my child, I rasa macam, why am I letting this happen? I rasa macam tak best lah. And I rasa macam, am I good enough? Am I really like be the one that I should really be? Itu yang
If it makes you feel better, my anak selalu benjol.
I knew that first time with my firstborn. With my firstborn memang. Tapi bila kadang-kadang tu bila kita nampak macam alamak, if only the word is if only I sempat grab dia ke, ataupun barang tu tak bersepah, dia tak terflip ke, the if only tu yang bagi you rasa macam real dilemmas.
Yeah. But for me, like when my son fall, I just like, okay, are you okay? Tengok, are you okay? Okay, alright, okay, get up, nothing, toughen up, boy.
Well, for me, I have so many fears, to be honest. Since before my kids were born until they are here, I think I fear about the future for them. Banyaklah perkara. And I don't think I can list all of them. And I don't want everybody to pick up on my fears and then it becomes their fear pula, menjangkit. But what I would want to say is this, because both of you, especially Mia, raised, this feeling of guilty, like I'm not enough. And maybe I just want to touch on that a bit, because I don't think Mia's the only one feeling that, right? Some parents feel like they're not enough because maybe they can't help their child in certain areas for their development, for their growth, or maybe their parents or their in-laws keep saying that, your parenting style is not going to work. And then you start to question your own abilities and knowledge. Or you start comparing it with other parents, and other parents are showing off about how well their child is developing and doing well in school and getting into good schools. And you're like, man, I'm such, inefficient. I'm so left behind. Like so many others are doing so much more for their kids. What am I doing for my kids? I'm failing them and things like that. So I want to say one thing. I want to say, you are never a bad parent as long as you're trying your very best. And this is in spite of all your other responsibilities, all of your other commitments. And, I want you to imagine that one day when your child is all grown up, I want you to see them actually appreciating you because they knew you tried your very best. And they're going to be proud of you because you did that. They're not going to care whether you help them win awards or join all the sports competitions and won on debate competition. Like I think it's really about helping them grow up properly as a child, enjoying the growing up process too, and remembering special moments that they had with you. Because I still have some very special moments with my parents that I remember till today, and to me those things stick more than whatever things that I did and the extracurricular activities and all of those things. So, it's always about reviewing whatever that we think is important, that so that we change our judgment towards ourselves and becoming less critical of ourselves. Yeah.
InsyaAllah. Yeah, insyaAllah.
You're doing a good job.
Yeah, kadang-kadang tu macam sebab bila here's the thing, when people keep on asking me like, how come Noah dah boleh tulis, like he can write, he can basically write down all the alphabets correctly, and macam it looks like it's not like a 3-year-old punya handwriting. I have these dilemmas of like I feel guilty in a way that once if I shared this, orang akan rasa macam how come anak dia baru 3 tahun setengah dah boleh tulis nicely, cantik je kan, tak macam other toddlers. Lepas tu they are being hard on themselves. So macam I kadang-kadang I rasa macam do I need to actually share this or should I not? Or that's the thing sometimes bila you post things online, ada orang kata show off, and then there are sometimes orang get inspired and they want to like, what did you do? How apa you punya activities at home? And we share, thank you so much. I have no idea that we can actually do that, Yeah. So sometimes
I have to agree. I mean, in this modern day, I have to admit, I'm guilty. Parenting has suddenly become a competition. Do you agree?
Sometimes,
and then this has a lot to do with social media, I mean, sometimes even if we read like positive posts, someone is actually posting something positive about dia punya anak, but we just get pressured just by seeing a positive post. You start comparing. Like I admit I do that myself. I also compare my son dengan kenapa anak kawan I ni younger than my son dah boleh baca, my son still tak boleh baca, So I'm sure you face that too. So have you ever been in a situation where you used your child or even yourself as a yardstick or standard bearer for your child to emulate? Have you been in that situation?
Okay, to be honest, I'll be lying if I say I tak pernah. Tapi I really believe in this. Macam every child have their own developmental skills and timeline. As long as if it's not too concerning, then you don't have to worry way too much. Sebab I ada juga my friend yang jenis a little bit paranoia and anak dia baru 2 tahun dia dah survey dah sekolah, preschool apa nak hantar masa 4 years old, yang very very well planned. And then tapi at the end of the day dia jadi macam when too much you've been putting on the child. Not to say anak tu jadi confused because I'm no expert to say that, tapi kita nampak yang macam kita rasa macam chill down a bit, let them be toddlers and stuff. I jenis yang macam tu, I jenis yang macam laid back, relax and tak pernah macam paksa reading time ataupun kita buat painting right now. Me being myself, of course I akan ada schedule time. Kadang-kadang kalau kat rumah tu bila dia nak main toys ke apa ke, go ahead play, tapi make sure lepas ni kemas ataupun kemas sama-sama. Cumanya tak terlalu rigid. Tapi bila living at this area ataupun suasana sekarang ni, sometimes bila I tengok kawan-kawan I, anak-anak semua macam very Montessori style at home, I pula rasa macam should I buy all the stuff? Kat mana nak cari ni all this Montessori homeschool stuff. Dia dah jadi macam caca marba. Cumanya at the end of the day macam my husband ada one yang very cool. Dia macam jenis you know what, you don't have to think way too much, just let them be child lah. Enjoy them when they are still at home. Noah dekat rumah sekarang ni tak pergi lagi sekolah, pandemic. So you just enjoy. And then now that you work at home most of the time, so just enjoy the moment. Yeah. Yeah.
Ustaz Mizi, everyone looks up to you, So have you ever, I do, you have your fan base. Have you ever felt pressure tak? Like macam people thinking that your
To be the
kids are
perfect
also
parent?
like you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ada tak?
Well,
Do you feel?
No, not at all. I mean, I made it clear from the very beginning, even with my wife, I said, because I'm trained in the Islamic field, kan? So I was from a madrasah since preschool, primary school, secondary school, diploma, degree, all the way, right? And so there is a half expectation from people out there and the public, like, oh, ni kalau anak ustaz mesti pergi madrasah semua.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They will go to, but I told my wife, we need to look at our children based on their strengths and their interest and passion. And education nowadays is getting harder and harder. Agree?
True.
So whatever that I used to study in primary 1, I think my kids dah belajar in K1, I think now. And whatever that they learn in P4 was something that I learned in P6. So, times have changed and we cannot and do that to our children. It wouldn't be fair to them. We cannot expect them to follow exactly in the same mold that we are in. And I think to a certain extent, it's also limiting them, because today there are so many opportunities for them to get into and still contribute greatly to the community, to the ummah, Like one of my kids, I'm exposing him to do coding. He's been doing coding classes for like almost a year now. And he's 6 years old. And then my other son, pula, he's not into those kind of stuff. He's more outdoor, outgoing. So we signed him up for mixed martial arts class. And then another daughter, she's into arts. So we develop her there. So every child is unique, and I don't expect them to be perfect, and I don't expect them to be like me at all. To me, every child, we need to look at them and then guide them and nurture them according to their strengths, inshallah.
6-year-old and doing coding right now. So should I be nervous?
No.
We just
What? Okay. So remember, Ustaz said, okay, follow je, ikut je their own strengths and support them. Okay, I'm going to take that.
Okay.
Because sometimes what happens is that they might lose interest, and then you realize, oh, that's not really what they want, because they just want to try something, and you let them try, as long as it's something that is aligned to your principles lah kan. Kalau macam some parents, they may not be so keen on music, for example. So even if the child is talented, they're like, no lah, find something else. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's your child, right? Up to you. But I think some children are still trying to, you're in a self-discovery process. Whatever you throw at them or whatever they say they want to try, let them. And then sometimes in a month or two, some of my kids, kita kasi diorang try benda for a while, and then they're like, no, I don't want anymore, so kita kena ask for refund, dah sign up for 1 year, that kind of thing. So it's normal. I love seeing the process of them trying things out and then growing. Yeah, it's really nice.
Okay, so it's not the question. The next question is related to what we spoke about, but this is a different dilemma, okay? So most parents, they usually face this dilemma, especially regarding the new parents. I'm talking about new parents. I'm still putting you in the category of new parents because your anak is still kecil, and you have a 1-year-old child, kan?
Yeah.
So issues like confinement,
Okay.
feeding the child, vaccination, where to send your kids to school to. Have you ever been bombarded with opinions from family members or friends?
Definitely.
How do you handle it? Like in-laws,
Definitely. Itu memang tak boleh lari. Again, I'll be lying if I say that benda tu tak jadi. Tapi to be honest, okay, communication lah. Me and my husband, at the end of the day, it's our child. So kita orang memang dah macam discuss if our parents, especially my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, or even my parents give any advices or suggestions for our kids, if we think it's related, and we think if it's okay with whatever that we've been, kita punya, so tak adalah kata so-called principles, tapi our way of parenting, then okay. And Alhamdulillah, both of our parents are very understanding in a way, tak pernah rigid about like, kenapa start bagi makan baby dengan puree, you should bagi makan dengan bubur nasi supaya nanti dia tak picky eater, they don't mind. They give advices, tapi at the end of the day, it's really up to us. So I am grateful on that part. Tapi definitely benda yang bagus kita ambil, and benda yang kita rasa macam okay, mungkin tak berapa sesuai untuk kata apply at this moment, kita tak adalah ikut macam itulah. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. And then Ustaz Mizi, and yourself? Like, do you
what
get
question again?
pressure? Tak ada, in terms of like,
By others, is it? By family, friends, is it?
Yeah, by family, close friends. So everyone's so opinionated. Everyone wants to give their opinion on certain issues, especially berpantang, berpantang ni macam-macam, tak boleh makan ni, tak boleh makan tu, so
I makan je.
Well, to me, at the
I
end of the
masuk
day,
bangga makan je apa-apa kan. So yeah, how do you handle it?
To me, at the end of the day, we went through all of that already. So at the end of the day, we realized one thing, that people will always have something to say. At the end of the day, what matters most is what we as husband and wife agree upon. Yeah. And if we agree that we will go by this method, then we'll go by that method. And this is regardless of what anyone else has to say. Because yang paling penting, we support each other. And we have each other's back. So even behind our back, let's say somebody says to me, "Hey, your wife shouldn't be doing that, kan tengah pantang." She can trust that I will defend her because I'm on the same page as her. Something like that, To me, that's one of the most powerful things that couples can do for each other.
Yeah, but I'm sure you've also experienced couples going to you, meeting you, where, mother-in-laws, the husband nak dengar cakap mak, so conflict dengan the wife, so
that one is sampai hari kiamat, that problem will always be there. Because I've never gone a year without that question being asked to me. The dilemma for a guy split between his mom and his wife, two women whom he loves and two women whom he does not want to hurt and offend, but yet he always finds himself stuck. And when the men come to me, you start help me, I said, you wanted to get married, right? So now that you put yourself there, so now you deal with it, but it's really about managing it and communicating with both sides, and helping them understand why sometimes you might want to go with one opinion instead of the other, why sometimes you want to agree with this and cancel the other plans. Like, it's all about you being smart and strategizing and ensuring that there is a win-win at the end of the day. But there will be times. There will be times though that things will not go exactly according to how one party wants it, and that's your part untuk pandai memujuk pula lah. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a question from one of our viewers. We're going to take a question from Intan Umira. Okay. How do you make sure that your children cukup kasih sayang? And how do we ensure that the attention that we give them is enough?
Ustaz, you want to go first? Okay.
One of our viewers, tanya soalan ni. So,
me being a new parent, that is like one of the questions I've been asking myself all the time. I even sometimes ask my husband, am I really being a good mom right now? Do you think whatever that I've been doing with our kids are enough? But he always have this like positive thinking of saying that whatever that you've been doing right now is more than enough. Maybe it's his way of like making, nak bagi I rasa macam make me feel better ke kan. Tapi that is one good thing about him that I really appreciate, and he really give all these positive sayings and positive thoughts about me being a mom. Dia kata tak ada ibu pun yang nak kata tak bagi kasih sayang yang cukup ke anak. Semua orang nak bagi yang terbaik. Tapi at the end of the day, you jangan fikir terlalu teruk. Don't be too harsh on yourself, and you look at your child. I mean, tengok sendiri Noah and Isaac. Are they doing okay right now? And me looking at my boys, not being judgmental and all, I akan rasa macam they are perfectly fine, you know. Cukup lah tu. Kan, cukup lah. Bila when you think way too much, of course I akan rasa macam, tak cukup lah. Kalau if only I stayed at home longer rather than go out for work, I will have much time at home. Tapi untuk orang yang mana tak kerja pun, if only I can work outside and have my own career rather than spend way too much time at home, asyik anak kena marah je, you know. Tak, everybody have their own situation, and tak semua situasi applicable to each and every one of us. So macam my situation, bila cakap pasal rasa macam mana nak make sure anak rasa cukup kasih sayang and all, I selalu tengok balik anak I and I rasa macam if they are doing fine, then I think cukup lah tu, you know. Unless kalau macam asyik nak, not to say memerap lah, tapi kadang-kadang macam ada certain phase tu when they want to be way clingy ke, itu kita kena layan je lah. Especially my first, I mean both of my boys are fully breastfeeding. So the second one, kalau I'm at home lagi lah kan, nak memerap je, which itu layan je lah. Tapi tak adalah sampai rasa macam tak cukup kasih sayang ni, asyik nak melekat kat kaki je. It's not that. I tak rasa macam tu. So question tu tak ada siapa yang boleh jawab kecuali anak you sendiri. So don't be too harsh on yourself.
So have you ever felt guilty of having to choose between work and your child?
Definitely. Tipu lah. Memang again, tipu kalau cakap tak. Sebab you know, kadang-kadang okay, me working in entertainment industry and especially BDS lah on TV stations, there are times that I will balik rumah malam, you know. Tapi there's always pros and cons regarding my work, sebab I don't have to go out early in the morning, hantar anak-anak you pergi babysitter or nursery early in the morning, anak tak sempat mandi. My job right now, the reason why I am still doing whatever that I've been doing right now is because of the time that I get to spend with my kids. Sebab pagi, I still have the time to mandikan anak, you know, buat diorang breakfast, swap breakfast, even cook for their lunch. Dah swap lunch, baru I boleh pergi kerja. So, sebab usually I masuk office tengah hari. So I have the time siang tu untuk allocate for them, which I am so grateful. And then lepas Zuhur, I hantar budak-budak to their babysitter, go to work, sometimes after Isyak baru I balik rumah. So nak rasa terlalu rasa bersalah tu ada juga, tapi you know, orang lain punya sacrifices, especially all the frontliners, lagi teruk, lagi macam you know, sampai jumpa anak pejam mata, hantar anak ke pengasuh pejam mata, ambil anak from nursery pun anak dah tidur. So itu lagi I feel bad lah kan. Tapi kita ni manusia tak pernah rasa cukup. Kadang-kadang kita rasa macam if only I have more time. So you just have to be grateful with whatever that you are having right now lah.
Okay, Mizi, do you want to take the next question?
Sure. So Yulin, hi. So she said, with 3 kids, totally with 3 different personalities and strengths, how do you ensure they don't compare themselves with each other? I'm constantly battling with ensuring each kid self-confidence there. Very good question. So Yulin, I have 4, and yeah, it's hard because sometimes we as parents forget that we are the reasons they compare because we compare between them. So that's the first thing we must not do. We must be very aware of the fact that, hey, how are we always speaking about one of them when the others are around? Because sometimes we're just a bit unconscious that, hey, the others are noticing, you know, when you overpraise somebody in front of the rest, and the rest are not getting anything like that, even in their own unique areas where you say are their strengths, then that's when they're going to start to feel like mom and dad loves our elder sibling more, or for example, or younger sibling more. So my advice is this. What I do is, because like I said earlier, every child is doing their own thing, right? They have their own interest and passion, and therefore their strengths as well. So whenever one of them does really, really well in one area, we make sure that we sit down and we look at them in the eye. You know, we go down to their level, eye level, and we tell them how proud we are. Like, I'm really proud, you know, you did amazing. Like just now, even before we started this, my daughter was doing her online tuition slash test slash quiz semua all in one, and she said she got full marks. Like she's so happy because the other kids in that program were older than her. So I'm like, Hannah, I'm really proud of you. And terus her face was beaming with with a smile, and it's the same with every one of our kids. So with my son, whenever he does well, we will always like praise him because we don't want him to feel like Kaka is smarter than me, therefore I'm never gonna be good enough. Mom and dad only loves us if we do well only in school. But we want to show that we love them for who they are, and everything else is a bonus, right?
Yeah.
And in my book, you are loved. I actually wrote about, and this links to the Intan question earlier about making each child feel loved. I wrote a brief story about the encounter I had with my daughter. This was 2 years ago, maybe, and she was crying. I passed by her room and I saw that she was under her blanket covered up, and she was like 7 or 8, I can't remember. And she was like, "What's going on? Like, why?" I went close and I pulled her blanket and she had tissue everywhere. She was crying. Like, "Hannah, why? Why are you crying?" And she wouldn't say. I had to like spend more time with her. I had to hug her, comfort her until she felt really, really comfortable. And then she said, it's a long conversation. I won't say everything here, but eventually she actually expressed this. And I think a lot of parents underestimate our children's ability to articulate what they feel emotionally. Because my daughter actually somewhere in that conversation, while I was writing the book, You Are Loved, she said, "I don't feel loved." Ouch, like ouch. And that was a powerful moment that I said, you know what, I'm gonna tell this story in the book. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm the perfect parent, therefore, but we did something after that. We fixed it. We restored whatever that we felt was missing. We spent quality time, and now alhamdulillah, I think she's amazing. So all of us will go through challenges like this, and it's about addressing it one by one, slowly, and also showing care and giving attention to every child. We cannot possibly give every child equal amounts of love. It's impossible. You cannot say like, if I have 4 kids, so 25% each. There's no such thing as I cannot quantify that. Right? But what we can do is whenever there is an opportunity, we are present, we are mindful, and we make them feel like they are loved. That's it.
I have one question, Ustaz. Salah ke if we have a favourite child? Practice favoritism ni?
Well, I would, if I can just
Because you
very
say
quickly.
you just said that you can't love them equally,
I love the story of Joseph, Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, kan? Because in that story, there was jealousy amongst the siblings. Why? Because they felt like their father, Jacob, Prophet Yaqub, loved Yusuf and the youngest brother more than all of them. And so there are many beautiful takeaways from the story of Yusuf. And the entire chapter is a story, right? Except for a few verses. But one of the things that I felt that was a takeaway for me is that I want to avoid that envy and jealousy developing in some of my kids if I overexpress love to a select few and ignore the rest. Sometimes kita just assume that the older ones, they know already I love them. I give them so much love already. I don't need to tell them anymore. They know. But it doesn't work that way. We always need reinforcements. We always need assurance. I mean, right? Like even if kita husband and wife on, right? Like my wife will ask me 10 years after we are married, do you love me? Cakap, what changed? I never updated my status, say I stopped loving you. But we all need assurance. It doesn't matter, right? We all need it. So I think our children need it too.
Yeah. Ustaz, macam contohnya, suddenly I teringat lah macam favoritism ni kan. That is my fear actually. Now I remember, that is my fear when I was pregnant, my second boy. I takut sangat. I rasa macam nanti, ya Allah, macam mana nanti kalau aku tak sayang Isaac as how I loved Noah. Sebab Noah is my firstborn definitely, and all my first memang dengan dia. And senang cakap, he's the one who taught me how to become a mom lah. Everything, my first are with him. Were with him. So bila I pregnantkan Isaac, I always have the thoughts macam mana lah nanti kalau dia lahir nanti, the feelings is different ataupun I think that way. Tapi bila dah lahir, during confinement tu memanglah your emotions are all haywire and stuff, tapi from time to time alhamdulillah bila sekarang pun he's turning 1, memang ada perbezaan dari segi how we raise them. Contohnya macam dengan Noah dulu semuanya very loving and everything, tapi the second one ni memang dia sendiri pun his character pun very macam orang kata second child syndrome, I don't know. Can I see that? Dia memang macam very very independent, lepas tu berani, macam adventurous lebih pada abang dia dulu. And I jadi macam tak rigid, not to say rigid, I mean tak strict sangat ataupun tak terlalu how to say this kongkong sangat lah macam tu. Kalau mungkin di Noah tu kan I macam overprotective, that's the word, overprotective. Tapi the second one ni I lagi laid back. So persoalan yang mana I takut dulu, ya Allah nanti aku akan sayang dia macam mana aku sayang Noah ke, dah tak ada. Dia jadi macam dua-dua lain, dua-dua karakter yang sangat lain. So dua-dua mendapat sayang yang
They need
You're not the
they
first
need
person to tell me this.
They need love from us differently because every child is unique. You know how you guys know about the love languages? You've heard of the love languages? The 5 love languages?
No,
Everybody,
do share.
No, love languages is very popular in marriage workshops lah. So there's this guy, I think his name is Gary Chapman if I'm not wrong. So he wrote this global best-selling book lah. And basically he says that everybody has a different love language. So for example, some love languages that he said, they are the 5 love languages. One of them is words of affirmation. So I will feel loved if somebody praises me and compliments me and thanks me, And then another love language is giving gifts. Whenever I receive gifts, I feel so loved. So give me more gifts and I'll feel more loved. And then there are others for example, acts of service. So whenever you do something for me, I will feel more loved, So these are some of the examples of love languages. So to me, if it exists in adults, in couples, in marriages, I think children also are the same. So I notice with my kids, like one of them, they need words of affirmation tu je. Like the more you give it to them, the happier they are, the more they enjoy studying and all of that. And then the others, you need to give them gifts. Okay, very funny. So my middle 2 are boys. So my second and third are boys, right? Nombor 2 ni, kalau we go Toys R Us, I can never leave without buying a toy for him because he's always going to make his face. I want, but I want,
Mommy, don't you love me, mommy?
Yeah. So they make you feel guilty, right? But then my second boy, which is the third child, he doesn't bother. Macam he will look around, but no, I don't want. Even on his birthday, we struggled. She said, Hussein, what do you want? Come on, just choose anything. I don't know. I don't want. Like, so different because that's not his love language, So he needs something else. So I think we need to analyze a little bit and see what our children's needs are.
But did you feel grateful to have the third one around?
Of course. Of course.
Okay, the next question, Iman Isa. Dilemma disagreement between parents. Mak cakap no dan anak pergi dekat bapak. Bapak kata yes. Dilemma mak selalu jadi orang jahat. Macam mana nak address ni?
Probably about gadgets ni. I rasa benda ni mesti pasal gadgets. Alright, okay. Sebenarnya, okay, kalau tanya my experience ataupun based on whatever that is happening around me, especially towards me and my husband, benda ni jadi kalau it involves toys ataupun sweets ataupun phones, gadgets lah sebenarnya. Macam I used to be like really rigid ataupun macam no, tak boleh. No screen time. Jangan, no sugar, no salt, no nothing, no. Lepas tu toys pun jangan jadikan habit. If you want to go to work, balik kerja, you mesti beli something, because my husband dia punya habit macam tu. I'm gonna buy you lollipop. Okay, nanti daddy balik, daddy buy lollipop. Okay, as simple as lollipop ke yang ataupun Kinder Buenos, eggs tu kan. Dapat itu pun dah macam happy gila. So my firstborn dia ada habit of like, okay, kalau daddy pergi kerja, balik tu dia mesti akan dapat something. So whenever daddy balik kerja, the first thing that he's gonna be like, hi daddy, dia dah restless, dia dah macam where's my treat, where's my lollipop. Dia dah jadi macam habit tau. So itu yang benda dia, mommy and daddy will be like fighting about this kind of stuff. So memang, tapi sama juga contohnya macam ada certain things yang bila I kadang-kadang macam contoh dia naik slide. Kalau slide yang rasa macam I don't think it's suitable for toddlers lah daddy. Boleh lah. He's a boy. I'm here. Benda tu pun boleh jadi kado juga. So agak susah. Cumanya you have to macam, kalau macam my husband dia akan bagi I assurance lah. He'll be fine, don't worry, I'm here. So okay je lah. Cumanya pasal yang lain-lain tu ada yang macam jadi issues jugalah kita kat rumah kan.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask something related to what you just mentioned. So how do you balance your role and responsibilities with your spouse? Who has more responsibilities? Who does what? What does he do? What do you do? How do you balance your role?
The thing about me and my husband is that, alhamdulillah, this one I really am so grateful to have someone that is 100% responsible and also very
hands-on.
Like bottom line Ustaz, like tak apalah I basuh lah berak dia. Ya Allah, busuknya, tak apalah I basuh. Is that, I macam, am I dreaming? Dia macam, ya Allah. Dia macam, ya Allah, busuknya, tak apalah mami I basuh lah. It's too busuk lah. I macam, wow, ni memang, benda ni yang I memang sangat-sangat grateful lah. Macam even kalau mandikan anak pun, sebab sekarang pun dia banyak work from home, pagi dia yang mandikan anak, sebab dia tahu I breastfeed, malam kadang-kadang I menjaga. So after subuh kadang-kadang we have lepak-lepak, golek-golek atas katil, dia akan bagi I rest dulu, tak payah terus. Sebab two of my boss dua-dua ni memang bangun pagi, like 6:30 dah bangun. So you the longest that you boleh tahan diorang atas katil nak cuddles ke apa sampai pukul 7 pagi. Lepas tu diorang dah restless, diorang nak turun bawah, diorang nak pergi keluar ke kan, ambil udara pagi ke, sebab dah jadi macam habit lah pagi-pagi kita menaik stroller kan. So itu kerja dia lah, my husband yang akan buat benda tu, turun bawah, kadang-kadang tiba-tiba I turun dah ada breakfast. So I'm grateful sangat lah. So dua-dua balance. Kadang-kadang macam I masak, dia akan tolong kemaskan dapur. Benda-benda tu semua yang I rasa kena communicate lah. Sebab kadang-kadang if you buat semua, when your husband don't know anything, bila kita tak ada ke ataupun tolong tukarkan diaper, jadi macam alah ni susahnya nak pakaikan pampers. Dia bergerak-gerak. Tak reti nak handle anak sendiri, then it's going to be an issue lah. I rasa at the end of the day, both of husband and wife kena communicate apa yang kena buat sama-sama. Tak boleh lepaskan satu benda kat isteri sahaja, and also tak boleh nak harapkan semua suami buat. Itu pun salah juga.
So okay, I'm going to read, there's a comment from one of our viewers, Hannah Hashim. It's not really a question, she's just sharing with us. As an adult, I'm aware who's the favorite child among my siblings, but my mom provided and educated us fairly as we have different personalities. I am grateful that she managed to instill in us that love is not measurable. Alhamdulillah.
That is very
Beautiful.
much inspiring lah. Yeah.
Very
Sebab
beautiful.
we have a question from Ashley.
So Ashley asked, should I allow my kids to explore all kinds of activities? Well, I don't know whether it's all, but I guess you need to assess. Yeah, you need to assess your child because, like I said earlier, I noticed that one of my boys is very outdoorsy. He loves to run around a lot. He loves like sports and everything. So we needed to give him something where he can learn new skills. and that's why he did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai, because that's more him. But the other boy, that's not him at all. So we gave him programming, and he loves dinosaurs. So all of our books semua pasal dinosaurs, because he loves all of that. He knows all the names and everything. So every one of them is different. And it seems like my last one, and the 4-year-old, she's I don't know. She looks like she's going to be in the arts lah. She loves to sing. She loves to dance. Her facial expressions kelakar. She's like the joker of the house.
Like,
The
buat apa pun dah
family.
gelak tengok dia.
Itulah. So it's like very funny. Jadi I think, for Ashley, look at what you can ask your child actually. They will tell you, oh yeah, I wanna try this, mommy. Or I'm interested. Or they will say, no, I don't want to do that. But for my tip as a parent, because I've experienced this before, is when you are giving them a try to try something new, sign up for a trial, like a one time first, and then ask them, do you enjoy it? And if they say yes, then you can try to do a longer term commitment. Don't just jump in because they said yes one time, or you think they must attend that. That's what I would do.
What's going on?
What else?
Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Have you ever been involved in a discussion or argument on whether or not to quit your job to care for your kids or move your job nearer to home?
Maybe because of like my situation, I think I am at my comfort zone. Not anytime soon. I rasa macam I won't be me if I'm not working. And tak kot, I rasa sekarang ni alhamdulillah semuanya macam just right. So but wallahu alam, I'm not sure in the future, tapi kalau katalah there's better opportunities ke that I can just work from home and I spend more times with my kids, I think I might consider kot.
Okay, ada satu ni from
Afia.
Afia Hafiz.
Yes,
Ustaz, you want to read?
Afia. Hi, Afia. So Afia asked, Ustaz, love parenting sessions like this. Praying I'll be able to practice it soon. Amin. Amin, Afia. I doakan you cepat bertemu jodoh. And settle down quickly.
Ingat tu Afia.
Afia is my friend, so yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Ashley says my son loves dinosaurs too.
By the way, Ustaz, I have a question regarding macam tadi lah bila you cakap, bila you ada share yang you know what, kadang-kadang anak ni dia punya favorite, dia punya apa ni, dia punya apa yang dia suka tu tak not to say tak fix, tapi it might changes from time to time, which I agree. Sebab bila cakap pasal dinosaur, my firstborn lah especially, dia pernah ada satu phase yang it's all dinosaurs, like lepas tu dia tukar pula heavy vehicles, like everything is about heavy vehicles. So dia boleh macam differentiate tractor, bulldozer, backhoe and all those stuff. And now dia sekarang ni dia dalam phase solar system. All the planet stars kan, dia punya dwarf planets semua pun boleh hafal. So will it changes in the future? Adakah, sebab kadang-kadang I macam confused juga apa yang dia suka sangat ni sebenarnya. Bila kita beli katalah beli books, bila beli books regarding dinosaurs, dia dah tak macam okay, dia dah tak as excited as before.
Same thing happened with my son. So from 1.5 years old, he's so into dinosaurs, so excited. We brought him to, there's this show that was playing, it's called Walking with Dinosaurs, like the live show. So like huge dinosaurs, like we brought him there, his eyes lit up, he was so excited. All of his baju, semua baju dinosaur, he won't wear anything else, only wear dinosaur clothes.
I
all
feel you.
We bring him to we bring him to holiday, semua nak bawa buku dinosaur je, and he will always hold some dinosaur toys in his hand. But the phase ended. I think when he was like entering 5 years old, he was interested in other things pula. So it's like that. But to me, as long as you feel like you can support them when they are really interested in those things, you should allow them. I recently asked him, Hussein, do you still remember the dinosaur names? Because you watch a show and then suddenly dinosaurs are like, oh yeah, okay, so what's that one? Oh, then he could name them. Like, oh, okay, so technically it's not gone. All the investment is not gone. Yeah. So it's still there.
So just go with the flow.
Okay, we're coming towards the end of the session. Tapi I'm just going to ask one question, one last question.
Ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, tak rasa.
Yeah.
We're just going to extend it for another 10 minutes. But the next question ni is about your 4-year-old toddler, okay?
Okay.
I'm assuming he's in preschool?
To be honest, not yet. Sepatutnya.
Not yet.
Tapi sebabkan, memang...
Oh, so he never started. He never started lah.
Even actually nak hantar dekat play school pun, lepas tu the pandemic happens. So,
right.
Only 2 years.
But he went to play school, he had friends lah, kan?
Mm-hmm.
Like, masa MC...
Belum.
Oh, tak sempat?
Tak sempat.
Okay, so how was it like for your son during MCO? When we were locked down, How did you explain to him that he couldn't go out of the house, play at the playground ke, main dengan neighbours ke, or get visitors, cousins? How was it like for him? And how did you handle?
It was really hard with Noah sebab, because before pandemic, he is, the three of us, me, my husband and Noah, kita orang very, very, very outgoing punya person. Kita orang memang outdoor punya orang lah, Weekend memang kita akan keluar pergi mana-mana je, janji keluar rumah. So it's like a routine for us. So bila pandemic happens and masa tu pula dia baru bercakap, jadi macam it was pretty tough to make him understand the fact that tak boleh keluar, and then nak kena ajar pula, nak kena pakai mask sebab sebelum ni tak pernah kan. Itu pun satu isu juga. It was really tough. But then Alhamdulillah, mungkin sebab dia dah getting older, so dia dah start faham and understand that okay, germs, kita duk cakap benda yang sama je lah. Kalau kata COVID tak faham, so kita je cakap there's so many germs outside, banyak bacteria, nanti you're gonna get sick if you stay outside way too long. Now it's not the same anymore, tapi it will get better soon. Tapi cumanya I think my problem, mungkin there is yang silapnya, not to say silap, tapi yelah bila cakap dengan budak-budak kan, kadang-kadang kita kata it's gonna end really soon. Sabar sikit je, nanti kita can go play outside. Yelah bila kalau playground for instance, our house area punya playground kan tutup, and then kita orang punya swimming pool tak boleh pergi, benda-benda gitu yang dia jadi macam issues lah. Dia jadi macam kenapa dia tak faham, kenapa mami tak nak bawa pergi pool kan, macam you don't love me anymore, I want to go to swim, I want to swim, I want to go to the pool. Benda-benda tu yang kena explain kat dia, tak boleh sebab ada virus, bakteria yang susahnya kat situ lah. Cumanya macam Alhamdulillah sekarang dia dah faham, so dah senang lah. Yang kesiannya is my second born. So lahir tahun lepas on August 2020. Sekarang 1 year old, 13 months old. So dia baby lah, membesar memang legitly at home. Like dia tahu.
I felt sad, when I think of our kids punya childhood, like they have been robbed of their childhood,
Yeah.
Yes.
Like even in macam I know in Malaysia schools are completely shut down. Macam they miss out a lot. And for my son, for my kids, the school is open here in Singapore, but a lot of the outdoor activities semua tak ada. So itu je I dah rasa macam wow, they're missing out a lot, man.
Yeah.
So their childhood memories is going to be so different from other generations.
Betul. Tapi kesian lah Ustaz, macam contoh my first born tu kan, hari tu kita bila dah start boleh keluar, bawa pergi park. Bila kita grounding kan, pijak rumput and all, pergi sun, bagi kena matahari sikit ke, mata dia macam like, oh is this real world? You faham tak? Yang macam tu sebab dia baru dapat kaki, baru boleh jalan. So bila dah start pijak rumput tu kan, dengan mula-mula takut and everything, tapi dia macam bila dah start comfortable, you memang boleh tahu like, oh my god, he's at his happiest. Kita rasa dia dah happy kat rumah, kita ingat dia tak tahu, alah baby bukan dia tahu sangat, dia tak pernah keluar, pergi malls ke, macam abang dia dah pergi play gym lah, gym jungle lah apa kan, dah pergi beach lah. So Isaac tak tahu, dia tak pernah experience all that. Tapi bila dia dapat pergi park, pergi pijak rumput pun dia dah macam light up gila. So dia macam subhanallah, ya Allah, kesian dia. Kesian. Kan? Tapi itulah, I really hope that all this will end.
Yeah, I'm so glad I dah boleh bawa anak at least to the playground lah. Sebab kita pun mati kutu at one point, you just don't know how else to entertain your child at home, kan?
You know what I did with my son masa dia, Mami, can we go jalan-jalan please? Can we go jalan? Dia tahulah jalan-jalan kan, keluar kan. Kita orang sampai macam I bawa dalam kereta, masuk NKVE, lalu highway, patah balik and then balik rumah. Dia dalam kereta pun dah macam happy gila. Mami, tractor, Mami, macam dump truck, bus. Dia dah notice all the heavy vehicles lah. Tapi memang you nampak lah, itu pun dah macam happy dah. My second born pun kita ingat ke dia macam tak faham kan? Tak ada. Duduk dekat kasut tu diam je, tengok je kat luar macam luasnya pemandangan. So memang kita tahu yang sebenarnya they're missing a lot lah. So itu yang macam sedih sikit. Kesian sangat. Kita pun burn out, lagilah diorang yang mana macam kan.
Okay, final questions before we end. Final question. How do you resolve disagreements with each other about upbringing, you and your spouse lah? And what are the strategies on how you can help each other when your spouse is losing their cool?
For me, my wife is always right and there's always peace at home.
The best advice.
Well, in my situation, I think I'm always right. Tak adalah. Tapi I rasa macam tak ada
issue. So how do you resolve disagreements?
A bit of compromise, a bit of giving in sometimes. You can't always win, and you shouldn't always be the one winning everything. It's not about winning. It's not about who's right. It's about doing what's right, but consulting each other and talking through issues that you don't see eye to eye to. And it's normal lah. I think it will be worrying juga for me if kita both always agree with each other on everything. It's like, are you guys okay or not? Like, how come you agree with everything?
Boring sebenarnya. Macam boringnya relationship kita, tak ada thrills. Not to say that bergaduh tu bagus, tapi macam I tak adalah. Kita orang macam me and my husband, kita orang tak adalah macam bergaduh. We never lah. Cumanya adalah macam perselisihan faham in terms of like I think this is right and dia akan rasa macam I don't think we need that yet. Contohnya macam kadang-kadang kalau macam I nak beli anything that involving my kids punya barang-barang ke yang macam rasa macam agak membazir, dia akan rasa tak payahlah membazir lah. No, tak nak, I nak. I rasa yang ni lagi comfortable. Contohnya kisah pasal strollers. For my husband mungkin dia rasa macam it's just a stroller. You don't have to get a really high end punya ke apa ke. Nanti dah 3 years old dah tak pakai dah. Kan? Tapi macam no, it's okay, we have to get the best one yet. If we can afford it, we get the best one. Benda tu boleh recycle and pass hand down ke adik. I fikir macam tu. Macam dia, alah pakai sekejap je, nanti adik dia ada, nanti beli yang baru. Benda-benda macam tu lah yang kadang-kadang kita compromise, and tapi at the end of the day, conclusion dia apa-apa jua situation ataupun benda yang kita decide, both of us are happy lah.
Okay, I know I said last, tapi just this last one is for Ustaz Mizi. From Maya Muhammad Yatim. Salam Ustaz, did you write or sell any book about parenting? I mean, do you write or sell any book about parenting? I mean, yeah, of course you do, but you.
Thank you for asking that, Maya. I actually don't, because I think I'm still learning. Parenting is a long journey. I think probably I might be a bit more confident to want to share something when my kids are teenagers and I survived, because I think the teenage years are even more scarier than when they are.
That is space.
But I would like to present this challenge over to Mya and Muhaini to perhaps write something on parenting one day. Okay?
Okay.
Wow.
Inshallah, Ustaz, I'll take that challenge.
Inshallah.
Okay. Dah penghabisan, but we would like to share a video, a short video about Kiddocare.
Cuk.
Let's check it out.
Cuk.
Okay, Cuk. Before video.
Okay, maybe some of us, for those who's been watching, they have thoughts of like macam mana nak dapatkan all your books that you've been writing. Ustaz, maybe you can share a bit.
Yeah.
Oh, my books, kalau in Malaysia, it's available at all major bookstores like Kino, Popular, MPH, Borders.
Kinokuniya.
Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you
Ustaz.
so much. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, so we're gonna show a short video.
Tonight, Mom and Dad are going out on a dinner date. We'll be staying at home with Kak Ali. Kak Alin isn't just an ordinary sister. She helps me get my homework done. And we get to play our favorite games with her too. Being with her makes us feel comfortable and safe. So aunties and uncles, if you're looking for a fun sitter like Kak Alin, contact Kiddocare or place a booking on their website at www.kiddocare.my.
Ni nak promote sikit Kiddocare.
Okay. I have a
Parents
question.
out there yang need help with childcare, please contact Kiddocare, you know. We
I have
are
a question. Now I have a question for you,
Okay,
Muhaini.
please ask.
What Muhaini? Okay.
About me ke about Kiddocare?
About Kiddocare.
Okay.
Alright, definitely. I think it's something that quite new in Malaysia, kan?
Yes.
To have this on the go babysitter. Kadang-kadang orang Malaysia ni we have these thoughts of like reliable ke, trusted ke, because benda ni dah applicable dekat overseas way too long already. But now in Malaysia, bila dah start you dah start introduce this, and then orang dah start using your services and all, masih ada lagi tak challenges of like nak bagi orang trust your services? Sebab
Of course,
kadang-kadang
the challenges will always be there. The challenges will always be there. We have a lot of parents concerned. Biasalah, I pun, you know, as a mother, of course, I'm paranoid. Siapa yang akan jaga my anak? You see, it's normal for any parents to be paranoid and concerned. I'm sure even though Kiddocare dah 10 tahun, I'm sure 10 years time pun there will always be a new parent that will, paranoia. I mean, we don't blame them, but you see, the thing is, how we are different is all our babysitters, obviously, number one, they're all Malaysian women, okay? Malaysian women. They're all vetted.
Alright.
We do a background check. Kita tak ambil siapa-siapa je. I mean, any women can apply to become a babysitter. But there is not 100%, dia tak macam dia apply terus guarantee dia masuk tau. There are processes that they have to go through. We do background check. Okay, kalau tak lepas background check, let's say kalau diorang ada record, criminal record ke apa ke, we don't take them in. That's the first round. Yeah, background check. Then we also medical. They have to be healthy lah. We don't want someone yang ada penyakit tiba-tiba ni kan. So their background check and then medical check, and then after that we also do psychometric assessment. And yang paling important, we train them, childcare training. Because banyak je pengasuh, they just do it just for the sake nak dapat duit, but you know, they're not trained. But all our carers, they undergo basic childcare training. Nak masuk tu dia kena lepas all these processes, baru dia masuk on board our system. Kita tak ambil siapa-siapa saja.
And what about like
open for all women?
Kalau macam special needs child, contohnya macam
we do have not all, but we do have certain carers yang they can handle special needs children.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Wishing you guys all the best.
Kalau ada any parents yang ada special needs tu, usually bila you buat booking, you have to specify. So you specify, then we will match you. We are a matching platform, you see. We match parents based on their requirement, what they put. So if this is a special needs kids, of course, we will match you with a carer that is specialized in taking care of special needs kids. We're not just going to open it to all carers. It's a matching platform.
That's amazing.
So kita nak tanya lah kita punya new advisor ni kan, sebab dia baru jadi advisor kita. So what does he think about Kiddocare? What made him want to be part of our team?
When I first met Nadira, I was so amazed that you guys were able to build this thing in the first place. Sebab the idea crossed my mind a couple of years back. I think when I had my second one, and my wife and I were like, we will never have our date nights ever again, like we'll never get to go out. Then we are stuck with the kids. Kita tak ada helper lagi that time. So then we started to like be creative, like, hey, what if there's a babysitting service? Like, what if we created a company that did this? And then she said, "Hey, you buat lah, you kan entrepreneur, you buat lah." She goes, "Oh, man, the work behind it, the research, the due diligence, the checking on regulations, training the carers, wah, too much work, man." I said, "No, I'm not gonna do it lah. Susah, leceh." Sekali, a couple of years later, I find you guys, and I'm so happy that they are so far ahead already. Macam-macam semua dia nak buat. They've done all the difficult stuff. And I'm so honored to now be part of the family lah, and I can't wait
We
to
are
help them
honored to have you
grow.
on board.
Yeah, I can't wait to see us grow and help more families, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. So proud to I mean, I feel so honored, and also I feel bangga lah to see all your achievements. Definitely the both of you guys, and yeah, congratulations, and please keep up all the good work. Tumpang bahagia tengok, you know.
Nanti one day
Thank
Mya
you, Mya.
gunalah our service.
Yes, okay, can, insyaAllah, definitely
Our
will do.
service.
Lepas ni, insyaAllah boleh.
So see how we assure parents. Obviously the first time yang siapa yang paranoid ada have trust issues. What we usually do is we say, okay, use our service, get a carer to come to the house. Maybe the first few sessions you ada dekat rumah. So that you can actually observe how the carer takes care of your child until you feel comfortable with that carer. Then okay lah, you berani. Some parents dia confident je first time dia berani tinggal, but I mean different parents different style kan. So
okay, talk
But
about
Mya,
kalau you rasa macam you have that trust issues, it's okay. Hire the carer, be around, observe how the carer takes care of your child.
Mya, you never know, Mya, kalau that the first time you make a booking, tiba-tiba Muhaini is the one that shows up on your doorstep. Special, Mya.
Okay, I have a question. Okay, just in case, if katalah you dah comfortable dengan this carer, and then anak-anak you pun dah macam happy je dengan this kakak, like so loving and baik and all. Lepas tu, next time if you want to use your service, can we request for the same person to actually take care of her?
Of course, you can. So when you book, you can request for the same person, but it also depends on her availability. Because that favorite carer could also be a favorite carer for another client, Tapi kalau dia available, yes, you can request for her. But if she's not available, you can also request for another carer. So most of our customers kan, yang our loyal customers, our repeat customers, they usually have 3 preferred carers. So they rotate between the 3. Kalau yang ni tak boleh, yang ni tak boleh, yang ni. Dia ada backup lah. So they 3 ni anak-anak dah biasa on rotation basis lah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I have a date night with my husband soon.
You need your date night. Trust me. Every married couple, you need your date night.
I know, right? Just as reminiscing all the good dating time. Kadang-kadang bila dah ada anak ni Ustaz, I tell you what, me and my husband pergi beli groceries je, pergi Jaya Grocer, And
that's enough. Kadang-kadang that feels good.
Okay, that's the thing. Okay, the kids were with my parents. So kita orang pun pergilah quick grocery run. Lepas tu kan tiba-tiba dia pegang tangan I. Lepas tu I macam, what is happening? Dia cakap what is this? Dia macam jadi dua-dua macam rasa macam, oh my god, I rasa current lah daddy. I rasa nervous. And then he was like, you're so funny. But to be honest, he admit, it's like, yeah, it feels so weird. Like macam in a good way, nampak tak? Nampak sangat, when you dah ada kids, your bonding with your husband or your husband and wife punya relationship, katalah date night so definitely dah lama lah dah tak ada kan, tapi bila pegang tangan tu macam sebab sebelum dia anak, bila pegang tangan tu what is happening?
Mya, personal skill lah, when was the last time date night ni?
Wish tak ingat lah, lama dah.
You definitely need one soon. Hire Kiddocare, please.
Yes, ASAP. Like, daddy, book a nice restaurant like now.
Actually, prior to the pandemic kan, macam sekarang ni, I know a lot of parents are uncomfortable bringing their kids to restaurants. But prior to the pandemic, parents yang mana yang paranoid ni kan, so what they do is they hire a carer, they go on a date, they bring their kid and the carer, so parents duduk satu table, anak-anak duduk another table dengan the carer. You can
Even I didn't know that is possible.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
Macam
but
contoh,
tak best
kalau
lah.
lepas
Tak romantik lah date night macam tu.
I
But
mean,
ada
lepas tu
lah.
kalau cinema dah buka kan, I mean dah
Ha,
boleh pergi
boleh?
tengok movies. Kita hantar carer dengan anak kita pergi tengok kids friendly movies.
Boleh.
Kita pergi tengok action movies or
Boleh.
romantic movies.
So a
together.
lot of people think
Nice.
Kiddocare ni jaga dekat rumah.
Yep.
Memang betul, but it's not jaga dekat rumah je. Dia boleh bawa keluar juga. Let's say you want to go shopping kan. Some women they want to go shopping but they want to shop with peace of mind, you know. They can't shop with their anak semua. So what they do is they bring a carer so they can shop, but the carer ikut lah dengan anak sekali, but the carer yang jaga anak.
Or
Ada
the
yang pergi
carer,
gym, ada pergi spa. So it's just not the carer duduk dekat rumah. You can bring the carer out.
contohnya macam pergi, katalah pergi play gym and then just left the kids and the carer dekat situ, kita pergi shopping.
Ya, boleh.
Oh, that's doable.
Kalau let's say manalah tahu lepas date night tu tiba-tiba after a few months dapat tahu pregnant lain sekali ke.
Oh,
Kan. Lepas tu kena masuk hospital beranak. So we can also help you there sebab kita punya carer pun boleh jaga dekat hospital. We've had request pregnant mothers yang nak beranak ambil our service.
Jadi helpful lah kat situ, tolong the mother. That's nice. Not just for the kids lah. Fairuz cakap, yes pernah jaga anak klien duduk meja sebelah masa they have romantic anniversary. That's sweet.
Yes. So itulah, depends how you want your date night. You want your date night dengan husband je ke ataupun with your kids at the next table and the carer.
Itu yang satu dilema ni Ustaz. This is the real dilemma lah. Sometimes I have these thoughts of like, okay, I want my to spend my good quality time with my husband. Contoh macam case pergi dine in ataupun pergi romantic dinner. Tapi at the same time, I rasa guilty for not having my kids around. I rasa macam why are we eating all this good food tapi anak kita kat rumah? Ataupun but bila bawa pula macam okay lah, this is like a normal family dinner. Tak kisahlah whatever restaurant yang we pergi, tapi when the kids are around dah macam tempat tu sama je. Kan? Sebab kids are always going to be kids. Diorang tak tahu pun itu 5-star hotel ke, itu kan. So kalau kita tinggal anak, kita rasa bersalah. Tapi bila kita bawa anak, kita rasa macam alamak. But I have these thoughts of like bila tinggal, you rasa macam alamak, tak enjoy pula dinner tu. So dia jadi berbelah bahagi. Kadang-kadang kejap kan call, baby okay ke kat rumah? Dia dah tak enjoy moment tu sebab your mind is at home. So dia jadi dilema kat situ. Apa yang the solution for this Ustaz?
Well,
ambil Kiddocare.
Yeah,
that's
the
the solution.
But you know what? We've actually had this issue before.
Kan?
So my wife and I, we I think that time kita baru dapat helper for the first time. After the fourth child, baru dapat helper. So we went out for dinner, and we realized that throughout entire dinner, we spoke only about our kids. And then when we were back in the car, we were like, why in the world we were just talking about our kids? Like they are not around and we talk about them. Like tak ada benda lain nak berbual ke? But we needed to be conscious and aware first that our minds were fixated on our children's well-being, welfare, their tuition ke apa benda ke. Like we can't stop that. Tapi once we realized that, ada some self-awareness, the next time we went out, we were like, okay, kita sedar, we are not going to talk about them. Now let's talk about us or talk about other things. Kan? So you need to make a conscious decision that, hey, first of all, don't feel guilty. It's not like you are with them like 6.5 days of the week, for example, or 28 days out of the month, for example. Kan? Like why feel so guilty taking half a day or 3 hours away from them? Just enjoy the moment because that's also important.
And maybe that's the reason why I decided to proceed with my career. Sebab I rasa when I have the time outside home, I have the time to actually miss them. So bila you balik kerja tu kan, you rasa content in a way that tak sabarnya nak jumpa the boys. Rasa macam punya. And then you jadi lagi attentive towards them when you're at home. Rather than spend bila weekends, bila 24 jam dengan anak, you dah macam wow, too much. Rasa macam sebelum jadi single, sabar jap, betul jugalah apa yang Ustaz kata, you need some time, not to say time off lah, cumanya macam a short 3 hours break.
It is time off. Yeah.
So time off tu bunyi macam harsh. I rasa macam
No, it's not.
ah
Okay, anyway, dah nak
ya.
satu jam je.
Yeah.
So we've come, tak sedar, right? So
I know, right?
It's when you're having a lot of fun and when it's really interesting, I guess time goes by without you realizing it. So anyway, we've come to the end of the session for tonight. Okay, it's been really insightful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maya.
Thanks, Mia.
Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really
thank you.
appreciate this session and I really
Yeah.
enjoyed this session. Thank you so
All
much.
the experiences, the advice, tips you shared with us are what most parents go through as well in various stages of their lives.
Betul.
So we hope that all of us have benefited from this session. Yeah, thank you.
InsyaAllah.
Terima kasih banyak.
Yeah,
For
insyaAllah.
being here. Yeah. Okay, now can we pause and take a picture for tonight's session?
Boleh.
Take picture sekejap Print screen. Yeah. Okay. I get that. I hope I did. Yes, I did. Okay. Okay, so then stay tuned for more episodes of the Parenting Retreat. Thank you everyone for such a fantastic session. This is Mahmud signing off. Good night, goodbye to the next session. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum Ustaz and Mohaini, definitely thank you so much for having me and
Thank you.
jangan serik lah panggil I really like these live sessions.
Inshallah, we will. We'll definitely.
Yes,
Yeah.
InsyaAllah.
Thank you so much.
Alright.
Assalamualaikum.
Bye. Assalamualaikum.